booze. I know, right? I totally cut that off. But anyways, yeah, you know what? I'm so excited. I'm so excited about tonight. I am bringing you some really good stuff tonight, and so I'm hoping that you would stick around. Tonight we're going to talk about ways to be creative in like 30 minutes. Okay? So, girl, stick around. Okay? We will be right back. Hey, Booze. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited that you're here. Yeah, girl. Yeah, we doing this here thing. So of course, it's all good. Tonight we're going to talk about how to unleash your creativity in about 30 minutes a day, right? So, yeah, I usually always say grab a snack, but you might want to write this down. I don't know. You know what? This is more of an interactive kind of thing where you might just want to like just be here in the moment. So, oh my goodness, if you don't know me, my name is Michelle Lawrence. I am your friendly neighborhood brand ambassador. I help you stand out so that you can make your mark in the world. The way I do that is with my MARK method. Yeah, like MARK. So it stands for mindset, authenticity, revenue, and knowledge. And the way I bring this goodness to the world is through social learning, just like this, and online courses. So what are you waiting for? It's time for you to make your mark. So look, this is what we're talking about today. We're talking about unleashing your creativity in about 30 minutes, right? So I want to jump right into the content so we can like really, really, really talk about it. I prepared something so wonderful for you guys. I know. I'm like so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, so here it is, right here. Right? Oh my god, right? It is. It's so amazing. Let's see. Hold on. There you go. I found it. I found it. Oh my goodness. All right. So let me put me back in the picture. Where am I? There I am. See? Oh my goodness. I just love this. So anyway, this is what we talking about today. Okay. So girl, I got some libations. So we're just gonna run through this right quick. Okay. So basically what we're gonna talk about tonight is 30 ways, I'm sorry, a few ways to unleash the creativity within you within like about 30 minutes. Okay. So I kind of need you to, this is like a full on activity. Okay. It's a full on activity. So although most people who are creative, sometimes they have some kind of an air about them. It's okay, it's okay, it's a learned thing. You might not be the most creative person in the world, we get this, but it's okay, right? So let's like think about some times when you might have been a little bit more creative, right? Like, oh, let's see, I don't know, like when you were a kid, right? When you were a kid, think about your childhood, right? I mean, did you have a really active imagination? Okay, before I really dive into this, I just want to kind of preface this by saying this. Okay, so in my real job, I am a nurse and I used to do labor and delivery and help people, have babies. And so a lot of times, you kind of like to have to really focus on something to kind of take your mind off of like what your pain is. Oh my goodness. Hey, boo. I'm so excited you're here. Oh my goodness. How you doing, boo? I'm so excited you're here. So anyways, so think about when you were a kid, right? And um, you know, you were probably really you had like a really active imagination. Maybe you were that kid or maybe you weren't, but just go with me with this, okay? So let's go back. So think about when you were a kid, right? Did you really have an active imagination? Like, y'all homeschooling right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The kids are in your face. Back in the day when I was a kid, look, we used to be able to like think of all kinds of stuff to do. We didn't have the internet. The internet wasn't a thing when I was growing up, right? And so you had to use your imagination for a lot of stuff. So go with me with this, right? So imagine that you were a kid, right? Perhaps perhaps in your imagination you were thinking, "Oh my goodness, I'm the best skateboarder in the world." Right? Right? Maybe you thought you were going to be a doctor. I used to dream about that a lot. That's kind of why I went into medicine, right? So use your imagination right now. Let's pretend that you're the best coworker at your company where you are right now. Right now, right? Just imagine that, right? Imagine that you're the best coworker. Okay, of course I got to have a little background music. Let's do that. Right? Think about that. Right? You're if you were the best coworker, how would you dress? Oh my god, just picture that. Picture that. How would you dress for the job? How would you behave? Right? Think about how would you relate to others? Right? Just imagine. What would you do? Right? Now, take that same thought and visualize that in your current job right now. Right? You could do that. You could so do that. And who knows what that will create. Do that for like 10 minutes in a day. And then take that thought without you throughout the day. Right? Oh my gosh. Okay. So here's another thing. Right? How about think about what you're really good at. What are you really good at? I want you to ponder on that for a second, right? Take like 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. Just think about that. Consider the skills and talents that you might have, right? Pick one of those and focus on that. And, who knows? Think about what makes you good at that ability. Think about that, right? You never know. So as we're all kind of sitting here in quarantine, one of the things I remember I was kind of good at, I was always good at doing things with my hands, right? And when I was a kid, my aunts taught me how to sew, right? And so now, everybody's looking for masks because, we don't have like personal protective equipment or PPE, as we call it in the hospital. And we're having to go back to basics. When was the last time, if you had a sewing machine or if you learned how to sew, like if you did home economics, if that was you, raise your hand. I did home economics, right? And we learned how to sew like a pillow or something silly, right? How many of you pulled your sewing machines out and like made masks like during this quarantine time? How many of you did that? Right? I know, right? But this is just another thing to think about. You might not be very good at it, but you know what? The more you practice it, the better you can get, right? So, those are some of the things you want to think about, right? So, if you're excellent at something, are you excellent at giving instructions? Are you excellent at paying attention? Are you, are you able to like be quick, like on the uptake? Are you that person, right? If you are, focus on that, right? Because who knows where that can go, right? So just think about that and let that marinate for a little bit. So here's the thing here's one of the things that I know that I know. Okay. If you know that you're good at something, you're more confident, right? If you know that you're good at something, you're a little bit more confident at doing that one thing, right? So for some people, speaking comes easy. For some people, doing things with their hands come easy. That's me, right? For some people, it could be like an act or a craft or whatever it is that your profession is, that comes easy to you. If it comes easy to you, you have more confidence, right? And then you could be a little bit more creative in finding ways to do what you do, right? You follow me with this? Okay. All right. So now we're going to take it to the wacky. All right. We're going to take it to the wacky. Let's think about this. Oh my gosh. Fantasy. Right? Oh my gosh. How many of you love Game of Thrones? Girl, I was so caught up with Game of Thrones and any kind of like fantasy show because it just really got my imagination going. Okay? So let me tell you why this is really good. Okay? So if you let your mind fantasize about something, right? You could get really, really, truly creative. Focus on something for like, some kind of a fantasy for like maybe 10, 15 minutes, right? Think about, let's give you something to fantasize about. Okay, we're adulting here, right? You know, we got kids, we got husbands, we got all kinds of stuff going on. Let's say your fantasy was to own your own house, right? I already have mine. I was able to accomplish that dream for myself. Oh my goodness, 4 times over. I've done that 4 times. But maybe you want one for yourself. Maybe you haven't had that fantasy in your head yet. Really, what I'm trying to get you to do is to visualize what you want, right? Right? It's a mindset thing, right? So, anyways, let's say you really, really want a house, right? Visualize this in this fantasy. What would a house look like, right? What would it look like inside? What would you put inside, right? Think about that for a sec, right? I'm just saying it would really, really, really kind of get the juices going so you could really think about stuff. Okay? All right. The next thing we're going to talk about ways to kind of like kind of like get those juices flowing is life goals, right? Think about your top 3 goals and give yourself permission to dream about those things that you really want, right? Those things that you truly desire and that you want that enhance like where you want to go. Think about those things, right? Now, while you're thinking about those goals, right? You hold those creative keys in the palm of your hands, right? However, you are the one that chooses where you need to go with that. Okay? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Spend some time just running free with that idea of those goals that you have. You know, write them down. See, kind of like focus on what it would look like, right? Those of you who are watching live, go ahead and drop a goal in the chat right now, and let's just play this game right now. We can go through this together. It's part of what I called visualization, right? You just think about these things. All right, drop the goal, and then we can kind of like do like a guided imagery visualization of that goal. What does it look like when you realize that goal? What does it look like when how does it look like the day that you get it? How does it feel on the inside? What are you doing when you achieve that goal, right? Think about that. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about, okay, would be, oh my goodness, emulating someone. Now, I know, my whole thing is to be true to yourself, right? To be true to you. But who knows? I'm gonna tell you, paying off your mortgage, bro. I know, I love it. I'm gonna skip back to that goal, and you know what? I'm gonna fantasize with you with that right there. Oh my God, Ellen, me and you, we're of the same mind. I know if I truly put my mind to it, I can pay off that mortgage. Oh my God, what would that feel like? Girl, the freedom, right? Right? Oh my gosh. See, I'm telling you, it's really good. You can really do this. Okay, so let's talk about the next one, and it has to do with emulating someone. So once again, we talked about individuality. Everyone is different, and I want you to be true to yourself, okay? And that is really important. I really want you to be true to yourself. However, I want you to think about this. This is something that actors do all the time, okay? So actors emulate someone else. The whole job of acting is to get into the mind of the character that you're playing, right? So if you have someone that you truly admire, and that person trips your switch, right? That you truly admire that person, and there's somebody that you emulate, that you want to be like, right? What is that person like, right? What is that person's personality like? play a little game with yourself, right? And let's just talk about it. I want you to stretch your creativity just a little bit, right? Um, and just think about, does that person smile a lot? Maybe you're not a smiler. Maybe you're not a happy-go-lucky person and you have like a proverbial cloud that you walk under all the time, right? And you want to emulate someone who seems to be happy all the time. Now remember, not everything is as it seems. A lot of times, someone might look happy, but they're really not. But what if you wanted to feel that feeling, right? Feel that feeling. Think about what it would feel like to smile and be happy and have those feelings, right? You can emulate that person, right? You can, you know, feel what it feels like to be in a good mood, right? And do some of the behaviors that would be congruent with that feeling, right? And who knows? Maybe the sun might come out and it will shine a little bit and you wouldn't be so down. Maybe that can happen for you, right? I'm just saying, it is so possible. It is so possible that that can happen for you. So, the next thing we're going to talk about next would be, okay, so now, of course, my husband calls me in the middle of this and makes my computer go nuts. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hang on one second. I'm trying to get my mouse to go back to where it was. Okay. And also trying to advance my screen. You know, one of the things that I go with all the time is that when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? And you just got to go with it. So right now I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get my computer to stop tripping right now, but it is all good. I'm going to figure out a way to do this. Oh my goodness. You guys, stay with me as I try to figure this out. I am going to choke him when I see him. No, I'm not really going to choke him, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so okie dokie. Hang on one second. All right, let's go to options and let us do this. So bear with me for just a quick second. You know, this is just something that you kind of deal with your with technology, because technology can sometimes be a boogeroo right now. Okay. All right. So I really want to try to get to the next slide, but for whatever reason, I am having trouble making this happen. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can go to another thingy here. Okay, goody. I made it work. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I had to come out of that for a second. So anyways, look at there. Now it started all over again and everything is perfect. Oh my gosh. Not quite. Now all of it is so funny. It's so funny because all of my little things were going nuts there for a second. And so now I kind of got everything to calm down. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. So anyways, this is going to be the final thing that we're going to talk about tonight. Will be the try a new thing, right? So here's my new thing. Well, it's not really a new thing. I do this all the time. I love trying new things, right? And in trying new things, sometimes you kind of have some hiccups. Kind of like what I just had right there. I was in sort of like a spiral. You know, my computer was like, what is happening? Danger, Will Robinson, right? So anyway, but if you try new things, sometimes that could get your creative juices going too. Okay? So think about, what are some of the new things that you would love to try, right? For me, oh my God, because I love doing things with my hands. I love like making jewelry, like everything that I'm wearing, I made. Like literally everything that I'm wearing, I made. Some you might want to try playing an instrument, try learning new languages, you know, different things. Because guess what? You have to get into a creative space to do those things. And not only that, when you get into that creative space, those juices start to flow, and who knows where that can take you, right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled that we got to spend some time together. Of course, I got to tell you where you can find me on the interwebs. You can find me everywhere at LBC Branding. Okay, so as you can see on this slide, I've got my Facebook page there. I'm on YouTube at LBC Branding, also on Instagram, also at LBC Branding. Guess what is dropping tonight? I also have a podcast. The podcast for this episode I taped last night is going to drop at 9 o'clock. So in about 30 minutes, you'll get to hear that. And that podcast is The Leopard Shoe Diaries. As you can see right over there, right over there. And so you can find The Leopard Shoe Diaries anywhere where you listen to podcasts. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right? I'm so happy and so thrilled. Now, if you have questions or, want to kind of like, brainstorm and think about some stuff and, you want to like get the show notes from today's show, right? If you notice what's scrolling down below, if you drop this word right here, there it is, unleash. If you drop the word unleash, you will get the show notes for today's show. I do have a bot that does that, but you know what? I will reach out as a human to do just that and give you the show notes. I always publish a note after every one of my shows so you can have everything concise and really pretty and to the point. So I'm so excited you came to join me. If you are watching this live, oh my God, kudos to you for watching this live. If you're happening to watch this on the replay, girl, kudos to you too, because guess what? You getting this knowledge, right? I know. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited and thrilled that you came to join me tonight. So I only have one thing to say. I say this every single week. What are you waiting for? It's time for you to make your mark. Oh my goodness. See you next time. Bye boo bye.